Welcome to RCS. I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick.
Made it through the weekend.
I did. You had a little more social weekend than I did. Apparently, I missed a few things on the calendar. So,
you had a good time with the bike, though.
I did. On the bike? I was on the bike this weekend.
I was talking about the upgrades.
Oh, yeah. It's so quickly. I'm not allowed to do any upgrades right now because apparently I'm getting birthday gifts. So, That's
a good problem.
No, it's a wonderful problem, but I wish I could be riding more. But I guess, I've had it, like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 400 miles on it. So, it's not bad. So, loving it. Absolutely loving it. Yeah. Still staring at it in the garage, but yeah.
Well, that story's going to come full circle in a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, we're brought to you by Avance, Carter Subaru, recording at Drivers Club, and, of course, Griot's Garage, RCS 10 for 10% off of any Griot's Garage products. Make sure you use our code. Our friends at Haggerty, Let's Drive Together, Salvo Design, and York Real Estate.
Okay, I just want to say something about York Real Estate. It's causing me to want to work harder, but half the time when he sends me those things, I'm like, I don't have enough money to live in the garage right now. So
they've all been nice garages, though, and that's
good
what matters.
Lord, yeah. I was like, I really want to live in those things. So they're nice.
Speaking of garages we want to live in, we'll get to that as well in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Look at you are just on top of it today.
It's like I thought about it.
I will tell you, I have, and I've said this now 3 times in this room, but I will say it on the podcast. I was the most efficient person I've ever been today. So we record this on Mondays, and if you probably know, Facebook was down, Instagram was down, WhatsApp was down. I got stuff done. I didn't realize how much time I wasted on stupid.
Normally, I would be glad Facebook is gone, but with WhatsApp down, I missed the delivery of a 992 GT3 at Drivers Club today.
Oh.
And by the time I got here, it was gone, and I really, really, really wanted to see it.
Well, somebody had a good day.
Yeah, somebody had a very good day. It was gorgeous, gorgeous GT3.
Nice.
So speaking of which, I went to 3 shows this weekend in the same day.
You were busy.
I went to Griot's Caffeine and Gasoline. It was a race car theme. Super cool presentation by Griot's, as always, of course. They had one of Senna's Formula One cars there. Ayrton Senna, they had a Senna as well.
And did because the part of it was the display is inside now too,
yes.
right? It wasn't just the outside stuff, yeah.
No, the inside they had Dale Earnhardt, his Wrangler jeans car, and his black car. Some of Bruce McLaren's cars. Griot's never disappoints.
Well,
with the show.
and the Griot's family owns a few. He owns a few of Bruce McLaren's original cars.
Correct.
And things like that.
Yeah.
So
gorgeous display.
Yeah.
And then I went straight to the last day at Exotics.
How was that?
Packed.
Good.
It was great.
I'm glad to hear that.
Great showing as always. A lot of variety. Performante did not hit a light pole on 520 this time and crash, so that was cool.
Yeah, I heard about that. I saw our post about that. It was a good camera shot though. It was a nice photo.
you know your accident's bad when the DOT posts a photo.
Yeah. Hey, dumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, ouch. And then where did I go after that? The Carb Connection Dyno Tune Day.
Oh, how was that?
Great.
Okay.
A lot of fun. There was a guy with a Ranger converted to a Raptor, Avance off-road member, and he had that thing dynoed, and it put down 280 horsepower, 380 foot-pounds of torque.
At the wheels?
Yes, at the wheels.
What did he do to the engine?
4-cylinder Dodge.
Yeah.
4-cylinder Ranger with a tune on it.
Oh, it's just got a tune. Oh, it's got the EcoBoost.
The EcoBoost 4. So
okay, wow.
Yeah, if you're running and he's got wide body. It's a Ranger Raptor conversion truck. Awesome build.
Somebody said that with those, I think I saw it from the DDE guys, that their camera guy, that when you do that to the Ranger Raptors, they're wider than the new Raptors.
Maybe stock
by a little. Yeah, by stock.
I could see that.
Yeah. So yeah. Because that's what you want, is a mid-sized small truck that's bigger than a large truck.
Right.
Okay.
I'll jump it, I guess. Chad and Amanda ran their 91 Nissan Figaro.
Oh.
And I put up a little poll and quiz to see who could get closest to it, and 52 horsepower. That's what that thing put down at the wheels.
So what did it come with? Do we know? Because I
thought
it was a brand new car.
Yeah, 30-year-old car. I think they were rated for about 90 or so.
Okay.
I want to say.
Does not look 30 years old.
Yeah,
I love that car.
So,
yeah.
But 30 years and across the pond, right-hand drive, it's not bad. So
you could take that and put it in the trunk of their old the spicy eggplant. So
yeah,
nice.
So that was a fun event, and then
Then Sunday we both got to help out with Avant's new Chateau on the Green, or what was the name of it?
Classics on the Green.
Classic. I helped put up all the posters and we helped do everything. I forgot to look at the name.
So we've got to give a shout out to Ben Abrams, Adam, and Chrissy on that, because they literally put that event together in 30 days.
Yeah.
And they made it a really big point to not just grab quantity of cars, because that's easily done around here, but quality. And everything from a Jaguar XJ220 to...
I don't know where they got that.
Yeah. Which is on the cover of the magazine, of course.
Yeah.
McLaren Senna from the Griot's guys. I mean, everything. It was amazing. And it rained.
300
only
SL?
2 cars. Yeah, 300 SL Gullwing. Of the rain, only 2 cars officially canceled. Of the entire event, only 2. And there was an AC Bristol, no top, that drove in the rain.
A couple of Aston Martin Zagatos.
Yeah.
Which were gorgeous, yeah.
I mean, like, real high-end stuff still showed up. Only 2 cars canceled.
Yeah, when Chrissy and Adam called me and they're like, we need some help figuring out this parking. And I sat down with the list originally with Ben. I was like, oh, wow, these are some cars I've never seen, which is really cool because they really strove. Okay.
What did they do?
They tried really hard not to get cars that you have seen before, especially for an event like that. They did an awesome art car, which I think Avance maybe end up getting and auctioning off sometime.
Yes, it was this little Porsche 924 that was primered, and everybody was allowed to come up and basically draw on it. It was awesome watching the kids like hand paint this car. It was really fun to watch. One
of the fun conversations is we were getting everything set up in the morning, and I looked at Adam and I go, "That's going to be really cool." And he goes, "Yeah." He says, minus the fact that we're painting it with water-soluble paints. I was like, oh, okay. Let's find a tent. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool, though, but hats off to them. It was fun. So I was talking to Ben Abrams, of course, who helped put this whole thing on, and he hadn't really done a car show since Red Square Charity Car Show back in the day.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I was laughing as cars were not showing up on time and not parking as we told them to. And I'm like, it's your first show, man? It's like, nothing goes to plan and you just make it work.
Yep.
If anybody doesn't know, that's like every car show from Pebble Beach to here is that way. There's no exception. You'll get people who are like, well, I guess I'm going to park here because I'm 90. I don't care.
Of course I read the email to show up at 11, but I'm going to show up at 1.
Right.
And I heard exactly where you want to put me, but I don't going to park there. And I'm going to ignore the person that's parking me and drive past them. So, yeah, we understand that.
With that, I'm going to use that to move into the Carter Subaru tip of the week. This is for you parents out there, and I hate to put this one out there, but it's got to be said again. And I'm going to say it with a firm hand because I was and you drunk people at car shows.
Beat your children with a firm hand. I agree, Dan.
Right, that's what I said. No. Let's see. I had a friend and fellow drivers come over. Kit brought his 600 LT into the show. Parked it in the show. I kind of came in last minute. He asked very nice. I said, yeah, bring it in. I said, we've got a spot open because we had the 2 cars canceled. Let me put it right by the gate. And you've got this gorgeous 600 LT Spider, right? Keeps the doors up. People love it, taking photos with it. Like, second woman who walks up to it decides to lean against it on the passenger side fender to get photos. Ass on the car. An aluminum $300,000 McLaren that she does not own, and she's just going to go sit on it. If you are that ignorant, don't come to car shows. But 2, like 5 minutes later, guy walks up with his kid, hops in the passenger seat. Guy does nothing. Pulls on the seatbelt, walks him, like slides himself over the carbon fiber door sill into the car. And Kit is way cooler than I would have been.
Yeah.
I am pretty cool when it comes to that kind of stuff because I like to have kids sit in the car. He said the same thing. If they would have asked, I would have been like, yeah, hop in the passenger seat, grab the steering wheel, have some fun with it. But no, these people just walked up like it was like your Taurus rental car from the 90s. Like, what the hell?
I think a lot of people think that they're either dealer-owned cars, which is still not acceptable. I mean, you wouldn't go up to a car show and hop into a Ford Focus. You wouldn't do it. You'd ask.
Yeah.
So the fact that people don't do that there. We've had that problem many times as exotics.
Yeah, let off your e-brake in your Triumph that one time.
I'm glad it was my car. Yeah. We had that problem back when exotics did the shows at Chateau.
Yeah, so. This one is, if you have kids at the car show, one of the best lessons I was ever taught by my brother was that when you go to walk up to a car, you put your hands behind your back. You always grab your hands behind your back and lean toward the car. This does a lot of things. It pulls, if you have a zip-up hoodie like I'm wearing right now, pulls it back from the car. It lets the owner and other people around you know that your intent is not to touch the car. It sets off the right tone right away. And if you teach your kids young to do that, I still do that as muscle memory to this day when I lean over a car. I put my hands behind my back and I lean over the car. It shows respect for the owner in the car. 9 times out of 10, unless that owner's a total jerk, they'll be like, yeah, hop in the car, check it out. Like, people love to share their cars when they go to car shows.
Also, when you're doing that, watch your belt buckle.
Yes, watch your belt buckle.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the people out there with kids who want to take them to car shows, teach them that. All the car owners out there, all the people who enter their cars into shows know that kid, and then we all love that person. And in this case, hey, teach your wife to do that too.
If not, your kid's going to hear some new words when their dad is called things. So they're going to learn something that day.
Yeah, and trust me, you don't want to be responsible for the scratch on a McLaren
or a new fender.
Yeah, or a new fender if it's aluminum. Imagine doing that to a hand-pounded 300 SL Gullwing.
No, I cannot.
Yeah, neither could I. So
I will say this though. I mean, on the end of your tip, that Dodge Daytona that was absolutely cool.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people leaning on that, but he was sitting there right there talking to him. So, yeah.
I love that there are 2 Dodge Daytonas.
And almost identical colors, yeah.
Identical colors that I see all the time here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but speaking of, as we said, garage spaces and things to do with cars.
And enablers.
And enablers, people who get people to buy motorcycles.
God.
We are welcoming back a guest with some significant news that I want to make sure everybody's aware of in the car community. And he brought someone else to talk with us about it. Brian Nilsson, Daniela Lewis, that one?
Yep.
Like 3 times I went over that. 3 times.
I'm going to say this. When you said Lee, all I was in my head, I was going, Lee. I was like, no, I think it's Lewis. It's okay.
It's Daniela Lee Lewis.
Yes. Thank you for humoring me and my...
Miss Lee Lewis.
Thanks for having us back.
Hey. Welcome back, Brian.
Exciting.
Yeah, Brian was back on the show in January. Was it June of 2020? Look here.
Show 136.
Yes, and that was June of 2020. And
there we go. COVID, height the COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a long way from each other. You're fine.
Yeah, your distance appropriately.
We had you record out there on the peninsula where we're here. It's fine.
Yeah. Brian does a lot of things. If you don't recall, he is one of the co-owners of Brothers Power Sports in Bremerton, Washington. He's also the guy behind Circuit of the Northwest. And Daniela is with him today. She is head of membership sales and marketing for Circuit of the Northwest. And I think I'm glad to say they beat out a lot of the doubters, and things are still progressing rapidly with the track. I see some big names in there. One of our special friends, Haggerty, as well, is on that poster. We are pretty happy about that. We've got some, and you guys are ready to break ground as early as December now, I think.
Yeah, we're wanting to pop stumps here, either fourth quarter late or early first quarter. So that's our timelines right now. The team has to get the infield designed and developed for public events. So we have concert area and a special event area, so we can do similar things that was at Chateau. We want to be able to do things like that in rallies and whatnot. So they're 40% done with design. And so we look forward to getting that done so we can grade.
Well, and I want to take us back a little bit. If somebody hasn't heard your episode, they should definitely go back and listen to it. But give us a brief overview. If people don't know, we're getting a new track here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Okay. Give us just a quick overview just for people that maybe not have heard your episode. I can't believe there's probably 6 or 7. But maybe.
Okay. Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
We're a multi-use motorsports facility, so it'll be a public-private project. So the opportunity came along a few years back where we run the current operations of Bremerton Motorsports Park. So that's going away. The port rezoned that into aviation business. And so that prompted us to search for land, and we ended up across the highway on 232 acres of port land. And so we can continue the operations that happen there onto a new piece of land. And so that opportunity was probably 6 years ago. And so from then on, it was like we needed to get land use completed. We got site plan approvals. We got, stormwater and wetlands and signed off on. So all the things that can torpedo a project, we got done early, because you want to know early, like, hey, is this thing going to happen or not? So we did it the right way. Right now, we kicked off our membership September 18th. And so that is exciting. It's exciting times. And before we did that, we wanted to show action on the ground. And so it took us about 14 months to get permits from Olympia to be able to implement our harvest plan, which was a long time. And so we kind of did an internal timeout and said, hey, we're not going to raise any more hype until we can show action on the ground and actually fall some trees. So that's what's going on right now. And we have about 90% of it cleared. So we're doing site visits, we're doing opportunity events. We have, I think short of a dozen opportunity events we'll be doing the next few months, a lot of site visits. And, I welcome to Daniela for hopping on board and having some fun with us. And I still have my team from back east, Joel Cohen Group from Boca Raton, Florida. And then I have a VP of sales in Pennsylvania, Todd Melfi. And then still our motorsports engineer, he's Andy Girdham. He's in Indiana. And then we have local architects and a local civil engineer as well.
And I mean, this is not just going to be a new racetrack, guys. I mean, what he was saying, this is going to be everything. I mean, from concert venues to, I mean, private garages to, I mean, it's going to be the coolest place to hang out, and especially out on the peninsula. If you've ever been out in that area, I mean, Dan and I have done a ton of drives out in that area. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a destination. So it'll be a lot of good. Yeah.
Yeah, the area is cool for just driving, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of loops. I mean, my favorite is the canal loop. So, 3 hours, do a lap. We always call it a lap. We do Wednesday night rides, and so we'll do that. There's about 3 other ones that we do a lot, with on the motorcycle end of things, but they'd be just as fun in a car.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take our first break, and we come right back. I want to talk more about membership, what that entails, and now that you guys have a better grasp on that. I know we don't have pricing yet, but we'll get into that in a second. We'll be right back.
We spend an average of 8 hours and 41 minutes a day facing screens. Laptops, smartphones, tablets, even digital refrigerators. But what are we really connected to? Isn't it time you connected to something greater? Sometimes the best way to connect is to disconnect. This moment of escape was created by Hagerty for people who love cars.
And we're back. We left off talking about membership. What does that include? Maybe Daniela, you want to take it away? Give us your pitch.
Elevator speech, go.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Here we go. So what we're doing is we are looking for the right people who really want to be involved in the program, who have, their heart is in it, right? I mean, they want to participate. They know the value that this is going to bring. And so we're just looking for the right people. So we're getting the word out just to everybody, right?
Yeah, we're working through our partnerships.
Right.
So we have obviously Hagerty, we have LeMay AAT. So we're kind of doing this in a hierarchy. So it's not about, let's just go get, a bunch of high net worth people or people that love track days. And so we're going after the person versus the...
If you're one of those people, they'll still talk to you. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot like Drivers Club. It's not just pocketbook bragging rights. It's people who want to see the industry grow and who are highly involved in the community.
Yeah, that's right. We want a functional, I like to call it a functional membership, where before a member day, we might have a fundraiser. We might do a ride and drive. We might do a 5K. We might do rollerblading. You don't even know.
Rollerblade the track.
I was good right up to that 5K part. I mean, can I just donate?
You brought it back with rollerblading, though.
Oh, rollerblading.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We want a dynamic group. We want people
Making
that
a
are...
Speedo rollerblading on the track. What could go wrong?
Hey, man, I'm all in.
The more money you give,
Elbow
the more
pads.
clothes I'll put on.
Neon.
Exactly.
Bring it.
Yeah, don't you tempt me.
We get creative in our marketing.
Doesn't actually
I'm
work.
putting that in the brochure.
Exactly.
Talk me into it.
I think it's still, if you go to the Exotics website, I think it still says powered by Fat Men and Speedos. And if you click the link, it does a Bing image search for Fat Men and Speedos.
Don't click it. Yeah.
I'll stay away from that.
Please do.
Google.
Yeah.
So it's people committed to the betterment of motorsports. How's that?
Perfect.
That sums it up.
That's a great way to say it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and like I said, right now you're looking for what type of donation? You're not selling out? Like I said, let me back that up a little bit here. Like I said, this motor park is not going to have racetracks. You're going to have what are they called? They're personal condos, personal storage,
Autominiums.
Autonominiums.
Yeah,
okay.
so,
that.
Yeah, the garage
Autonominiums,
condominiums. They're trackside. We think that's going to be an amazing value, not just for the storage aspect or whatnot, but they're trackside, and we'll have concerts going on. We'll have sanctioned racing going on. Obviously 150 member days for the membership, but it'll be an experience where you'll be in front of the action but not in the action. So you'll have your own space. And right now we have 40 foot by 40 foot rendered, but we're going to offer 3 sizes, and then we'll do a customizable, depending on
it's going to be freaking cool.
Yeah.
Depending on how many toys you have and which what you want to store there. So, so I mean, as far as the membership, you were talking about membership days. What does membership entail? And I mean, you obviously no pricing's not out there yet. But
all we're doing now, we do have pricing as of September 18th. So the CNW price is $67,500, and all we're doing now is deposits. So deposits of $10,000. They go into escrow. We don't even touch the money. It's fully refundable at any time up until construction. So we've had good luck just getting deposits, And then we have our list is growing. So then you get in line for the autominimums. So your application is signed, the money is wired, and then it's time stamped. So then that puts you in line for the autominimums.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a group right now. We were talking before the show. They want a whole building, and they want to knock down all the walls. They must be really good friends.
Yeah.
But they want to knock down the demising walls and then just have a big entertainment facility.
I can see that happening. There's a few members here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really fun. I mean, what I find is a lot of people just don't know about the opportunity.
Yeah.
And so that's where we need to turn the volume up on social media and working through the partnerships. We do have a hierarchy. So that's the 12 events that we're going to do. And, hopefully we can do one here at Drivers Club.
Sweet. Yeah.
And also besides the what did you call them? Not condominiums.
Not barndominiums, but cardominiums.
Autominiums.
That was.
You're going to have just memberships to this, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we have so phase 1. Let's just talk about phase 1. That'll be the track. That'll be the clubhouse and a guardhouse, and that's all shovel ready, design and develop, ready to go. So that gets you. We'll have a 28,000 square foot clubhouse, simulators, lounge, patio. Themed restaurant. We have a food and beverage deal with Troon Management. They do over 600 properties worldwide. They're in the golf industry, and they're so pumped about getting into motorsports. I can't even explain. They're like, "Oh, we can manage your social calendar. We'll theme events. We'll do Indy 500, brunch, and we'll theme your menu." And
very high end.
Yeah, super high end, and they're so amazing. Cool. We're talking to the heads of their company, and they're really sharing all their resources with us. So, not only with Haggerty and AAT, but Troon. So everyone that we're dealing with, Tilka, the Joel Cohen group, they're all best in class, you know? And so when you're dealing with the best people, things become easy because not only they're the best because they're cool to work with.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolute pros at doing it, so they know what they're doing right from the start. Right. It's not so much work for you to have to guide everybody along. They're like, "No, we know how to do this. We got the formula." And
they have no fear. So they're not in the motorsport space, but they're like, "Well, hey, we manage properties." And it's like they want to manage our concerts, they want to do weddings, they want to do small conferences. They're just like they want to jump in and just go for it, and I love that.
And motorsports is booming. I think we were all worried when COVID hit. We're like, oh, great, everything's tanking, nobody's buying any cars. And all of a sudden, now we're like, everything went up 20% over value, and every race car and bring a trailer sells instantly. And I've seen more race cars roll into Drivers Club in the last 6 months than I have anywhere. Yeah. Like constantly, it's like I got my track car.
Everybody's sitting at home going, well, I might as well go look on Bring a Trailer. And,
Yeah. I might as well buy a monkey and then another dirt bike. And
right. How's that thing running? You change the oil yet?
Not yet. You're getting close.
Oh, boy. Close. Put some synthetic in there.
If you don't know that, we talked about it a little bit. I was starting to look for a new bike, and I messaged you, and I was like, I'm thinking about this, and like maybe 6 minutes later, you took a photo. You're like, I have this one on the floor. I'm like, okay. That's what I want.
Timing was so meant to be.
Yes, it was absolutely meant to be.
Nick messages me, and I'm walking through the dealership. I was literally looking at the bike, and he goes, "Do you have any of these in stock?" I'm like, "Oh wow."
Yes,
photo,
I do.
Send photo. It was like on a Sunday.
It was, and I will say this: that was the first time I'd been out to Brothers. Wonderful experience. Had a great time. I got to meet everybody out there. Very, very like friendship. Which was nice. Which was really cool. So compliments to you on that.
Yeah,
Thanks
you. Man. Yeah, the COVID thing made everyone come together. I was trying to what positives came out of it, and and the camaraderie at the shop. Everyone came together, and we felt like we were a good cohesive team. And we're like, hey, people come here because they want to get away from the BS. They want to be in their environment and their vibe. So let's give that to them. So that's one good thing that came out of it.
I took to go get the bike, because it was a weekday and Dan was busy or something like that. I Ubered down to the ferry, which by the way is the most expensive thing you can do to Uber to the ferry. I took the ferry over there, and then they gladly came and picked me up. But it was funny because I was getting back on the ferry with the bike, and somebody started up a conversation, and he was talking about bikes, and he goes, "You came all the way over here to get a bike?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You go to the dealership to get you, what you have and what you need." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "I got to check them out."
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, "You got to go." There's obviously dealerships that were closer to me, but and had stock, but it wasn't. The deal wasn't right.
Cool,
So,
man.
yeah.
And we picked you up at the ferry, right?
You did. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you so much. Yeah,
See,
so
we
it
do
would have
that
been a
a lot.
long walk, but or I told you guys, I was like, I'll Uber. Like, I had never been to the dealership, so
Yeah.
and it was nowhere near where I thought it was. So
Yeah. Everyone thinks First Avenue, so they're downtown.
oh yeah,
Bremerton.
absolutely. I'm
Where
like,
are
yeah, that's
you?
easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're just step over the hill a little bit, right? It's
Right.
fine. Yeah. So
Yeah, First
Yeah.
Street.
That's a good transition. We should talk about that because that's going to be good for this. The customer service aspect of a place like this is everything. I mean, we know that from Casey at Drivers Club, and
Right.
like how you treat people matters big time. So
That's right.
I'm excited for that. But and from the motorcycle dealership side, I have been a lot of places. I travel a lot. As you know, we're talking about I was in McCall. I've visited like every motorcycle shop in every town I go to because
Yeah.
I do that my entire life. I do that because who knows
Yeah.
when I'll just buy something. And
you need to buy something, by the way.
I know.
I know.
I know. I'm working on
There
it.
we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly.
Yeah. And there's been two dramatically different shifts especially in the luxury industry. And I say luxury because nobody goes in and buys a CRF 450 RL because they need one. They want one. And that's a great thing.
Right.
That's a great problem to have. I want a motorcycle. I'm going to go buy it. But the shift has been the next guy's going to buy it. I don't have to do anything for you, and I'm not going to. And I have experienced that many times in many different places.
Right.
Not in McCall. They were great too. But that is a huge difference. You'll notice it, especially your luxury cars. Same thing. Porsche, there's a list a mile long for this GT3, so you're going to pay me X amount over for it,
Right.
and you're going to thank me when you're done, and I never want to talk to you again. Piss off.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot, and I've heard about it because, the Drivers Club chat, we talk to people who are getting cars in different places, and they're like, nah, I picked it up in Florida. Why'd you go to Florida? Because everybody here sucked. Yep. Like, oh.
Yeah, there was a lot of dealerships that were doing the DSRP thing, dealer suggested retail price, instead of MSRP. And boy, it's like, hey, do you want a short-term mentality or a long-term mentality?
Yep.
It's like in our business, 3% of people ride bikes.
Yeah.
So, and of those 3%, they talk to each other.
Yeah,
They communicate, right, on groups. And so it's like, let me think about that for a half a second. Nope, we're going to do MSRP. And, a lot of people don't know, but bikes at retail are like 13% above cost, kind of on the average.
Yeah.
That's fair, right? Yeah. We have to get freight and prep because the manufacturer doesn't reimburse us for our service guy at $100 and whatever bucks an hour to assemble. And we do have, there are costs associated with that. And people understand that, especially now. But man, I mean, yes, you could charge a little bit more, but you're going to alienate that customer. And that's not right. So we didn't feel right about that.
Well, thank you for treating me right. I do appreciate it. It's like, like I said, the dealership was wonderful. And it was, it was funny because we were talking about some service packages, and I'm like, she's like, well, we can, we have some stuff we can figure out. And I was like, no, I will ride the bike here to get it serviced. I was like, that's half the fun of owning this bike is like to get right out there. So
yeah,
I'm excited. So
and you can go on the highway now.
Yeah.
Yes, I can go on the highway. I don't know if I'm as confident on that bike on the highway as I was on the KLR, but it will do it 100%. The bike is not the issue.
You just wait. It's going to be a couple of years, and I'm going to talch him into getting a set of 17-inch Supermoto wheels and tires.
there you go.
I want
Brake
that.
kit.
I want that. That's not the problem. Here's the thing. By being on the freeway on my KLR, there was so much bike there and so much blocking, and I got on the freeway on that. And again, it will do it even with my fat ass. But I'm like, I'm like, oh, there's a speed wobble. I'm like, oh, that's not the bike, that's me.
Don't edit that out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, but you're right. I mean, I do want Supermoto wheels, but I want to get. Fun. It was funny because I took the bike and went and did. I went on the freeway. I took it all the way out to like basically the Mountainside Tavern. I got on the freeway and went out to that first exit by the fire.
Oh yeah.
Little over my, I got a little above my head. To the point where the bike wanted to lay down and take a minute while we were up there.
It was fine.
It needed a small nap in the middle of our ride. Not the bike's fault, my fault. So I tipped over, but I had all the right protection. But it was. I have had so much fun. I stand in my garage and I stare at it, and it looks really good next to the Monkey too. So
Yeah.
So
I'm excited if you get to the point where you just start relying on the gear, because that's when you get in trouble. Because I have crashed so many times. I've had all the gear on. Like, I've had the full compression vest, the knee braces, everything, and I crashed at like 40. I'm like, I'm fine. It's no big deal. And I get up and I'm like, oh, it's broken.
Yep.
you want to talk about a learning experience? So, and I didn't know this. I bought Alpenstar boots, which I love, which was great. My being able to feel the rear brake in those boots, I'm going along. I was like, I hit it, and I'm like, why am I dragging the rear wheel? Like, I'm not hitting it that hard. I was like, oh, I can't feel the brake.
You have massively better brakes on that bike too.
Absolutely, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a totally different bike. So much lighter. Even though I put a bigger tank on it, but so much fun.
Yeah, worth it though. So now you have range.
Yes, I do. It takes a lot for that bike to get my fat ass up to speed. So, yeah.
Daniela, since you're new to this, what are you looking
Yes.
forward to most about having the track up and running? Like, what is when you
What do you want to be when you grow up?
What do I want to be
When
when
you
I grow? I'm
envision
still
this.
trying to figure that out right now.
we all are.
Yeah.
I just believe that this is going to be like nothing we've seen here in North America. I mean, it's going to be over the top, amazing. It's exciting what is going on, and I'm excited to get other people excited about it.
We need to get you in a car, I think.
Definitely.
I think so. I think the hybrid aspect of
Absolutely.
the track hasn't been done really.
We need to get him a car, period.
Oh, now you brought that up.
I mean,
Well, we're going to go
he
back to
owns
that.
a truck.
And it
come on.
has mud all
Yeah,
over it.
I
right
get
now.
that.
Motorcycles, though.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, I mean, the man's ahead of this. He needs the car.
I'm an Avance member. I'm Haggerty Drivers Club, and I don't have a car
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
yet.
But you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a track.
Yeah, well, you got to go in order.
Yeah.
Dealer plate on a bike, and you
Right.
can have a lot of fun. I'm just saying. But with a multi-use facility like that, I mean, my fantasy mind of a younger me would be like, I can go do a track day in the morning, and I can literally park and then go to the concert the same night. Like,
That's
track
right.
shuts down at 3, event starts at 6. or
After
7
you had
or
a
whatever.
wonderful dinner at the clubhouse.
If you had a dinner at the clubhouse.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
Yep,
and then I
that's
can just
right.
go to sleep. I don't even have to drive home. I can just go to sleep, which
Right.
is
We'll
fantastic.
That's a
concierge you
wonderful
down to the
dream.
ferry.
Yeah.
We need to get back to work if you want to do that dream.
Your company's paying for that.
Wait a minute. That just got expensive.
So another couple
Do better.
founder entitlements.
Yes, sir.
Not to change the subject.
No, please.
Please.
So a couple other founder entitlements are we're doing through the end of the year. We're doing $2,500 off through our partnerships.
Oh.
So I would put Rain City Supercars as a partner.
Ooh.
So anyone that's affiliated with obviously Haggerty, you guys, Troon. So that's how we're building this thing. And one thing that we don't really mention this, but I do want to mention it because it's a founder entitlement, is we have a 80% redemption on our initiation fee. So our current price is $65,000. If you take 80% of that, who's a math guy? Who has a calculator?
It should be.
Yeah. So if you're in good standing for
We all
3
just shake
years,
our heads.
no, this is a kicker, man. Listen to this. So through the end of the year, 80% of that you get back if you move on, if you're in good standing for 3 years and the club's full.
Okay.
Oh,
It's really the reason why we're able to do that, and a lot of people ask this, we don't have land cost. We have a leased piece of land. So there's no $10 to $15 million in dirt that I have to recover, because your money is not going into real estate. It's going into facilities.
Yeah.
So that's why the big clubhouse, that's why the amenities, and that's
They're
why
probably not going to pull your lease either when you put
No.
all this nice stuff on there. So
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No.
So,
no.
yeah.
So we're in good shape, but there's a lot to sweeten that pot.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the kicker at the end. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
I mean, truthfully, the only thing that I've seen that's come in even close to this is Circuit of the Americas. I mean, and I think this is going to be better. I really do.
It's a tall order.
It is a tall order, but I mean, I think that we have the area, we have the places to do it, we have the car community. I think this is going to be something. There's one thing that you doesn't, and it's small, but one thing the Circuit of America does have, you can't race in the rain down there. You can do that here, and you can have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's true.
I do want to give a shout out to somebody on that list that we're not giving enough credit to. That's Port of Bremerton.
Yeah.
In a time right now where it feels like every city government is anti-car in every way and anti-motorsports and anti-fun, period. It's great to see Bremerton really step up and want to embrace something like this. And I know it's a mixed-use facility, but as we are big proponents of STEM careers, we're big, so is AAT, Automotive Trust, so is Haggerty about getting people into trades. And this is just another way to help that grow. And I know that's part of your program. And so seeing something like this come up and making it more accessible for the public is what keeps cars alive. And I'm not anti-electric anything at all. Don't take that the wrong way, people out there. Like, I want to see that grow too, and it will. But we still need the people to fix them. We still need to get people interested in driving better. And anybody who does track days is, guess what, a better driver, not a worse driver. So the more we can get people out there and the more we can make this community accessible. You imagine going to a concert. Actually, let me rephrase that. Do you remember back when Warped Tour came out, when it was the new thing, and you got there and there was a half pipe, and you were at a concert and you had a half pipe? When I was a kid, I wanted nothing more. I mean, I watched Rad a lot too, but to do a skateboard on a half pipe. And now I would just break myself in half instantaneously. But I knew a lot of younger people there, because I'm a 90s teenager, that was the catalyst. They saw that at their concert. They saw it at the show, and they were like, that's the coolest thing ever, watching, Dave Mira do a backflip on the half pipe or Tony Hawk skating while, Blink-182 is playing in the background. Right. So to date us a lot. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I listened to Britney Spears and what else?
That's worse.
I was strictly Backstreet Boys and New Kids on the Block.
Please edit that out.
Yeah, exactly.
The ratings are.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Everybody's like, okay, Boomer, thanks.
Yeah.
No, but Dan, I agree. I think that's how you grow motorsports.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people around here. I spent 3 years back in North Carolina on the NASCAR circuit, and then you come back here and it's like, what happened? Why no one knows about like the racing culture. It's like, that's got to change. And, that's always been in the back of my mind, so when the opportunity came, it's like, I want to change that. I want to grow motorsports, put the education component in there and, if you like concerts, you'll probably like, what's that going on around the track, or vice versa. So that's how you grow this.
I think, so many people don't realize how many people in racing have raced here and love it. I mean, Ray York was talking last week about the fact that, Dale Earnhardt was up here racing when he was in his younger career.
Evergreen Speedway.
I mean, how many, we've got what, 3 or 4 people that are in NASCAR. I mean, it's huge. I mean, and that's a big part of it. So, okay, speaking that we're at Drivers Club, and I mean, if somebody doesn't want to know, they don't want to do they have their own facility, which I don't know they would. Are you going to have car storage out there for people like that want to keep their car there?
We'll have car storage.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have that option.
Okay, which is nice.
We'll also have track prep.
Okay.
So we're talking to a few shops that want to do race prep.
Okay.
Minor repairs, brake, tires.
Yeah, things you need.
Right.
Yeah, tires.
Things you need.
Yeah. I need those tires and brakes I don't know where they went, but yeah.
There's one in Germany called Bilsterberg, and it's an old NATO weapons facility that they transformed into a motorsports facility. Pretty damn cool. But they have a huge building where they have wire racks, and then they have car storage. Okay. And then the service shop, brings them out and preps them and gets them track ready. And then
all you got to do is make a phone call, right?
Yeah, the member flies in and they go out and have a good time.
All you got to do is have an AMX Black card and have a phone, and you're good.
Yeah, for some of our listeners might not get that entirely, but there are certain programs. Like if you buy a Porsche Cup car, a race car, there's one on the floor down here in Drivers Club, a beautiful GMG car. If you buy one of those from GMG, you buy it through Porsche, they go through GMG, you can take it to the track and you get a team. Like, you don't just show up with your car and hope you can fix it yourself. Like, you buy a car.
You don't even show up with your car. Your car shows up without you. Yeah,
like, you go there, and if you're at that level, you're buying a Porsche factory car, race car. That comes part of the deal, and it's not like you're paying for it. It's not free. But if you're going to race at that level, if you are at that level, you can do that. And that is a huge thing to just like, I want my car prepped, I want my team prepped, and having the facilities on site so they're not bringing their massive trailer just to do everything out of the trailer. Like, they have access to that, changes the game, I should say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they teach you how to drive it?
Yes, actually they do. In fact, we have. She's been on the show. Shay Holscher actually has. She has her own race car, and she has pro driving instruction. Andrew, who's been on the show, Andrew Evans. He Yeah, you know
Yeah.
Andrew. Yeah, he does driving instruction with them as well, and he's a Le Mans driver.
There's a lot of programs like that. I mean, Ferrari's FXX program is insane. But you give them $4 million. You don't actually ever take possession of your car.
No, it just
they
shows
take
up
it
where
around
you
the
are.
world for you. I mean, which is nice. But this is a little bit lower end, if you can call it that.
If you can call it that.
It's really their car. It's really their car.
Oh, yeah. Give us $4 million and we'll let you drive our car.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe you can paint it the color you want. Maybe. So,
Yeah,
if
and
you're lucky.
There are a lot of drivers in this area that do that, actually. It's kind of funny. It's like concourse judges and professional race car drivers. Yeah, there's a lot of them here. A lot of them. So,
well, like you said, they will do the prep for you. They will repair the car when you screw it up. They will bring the car to the track. There's a lot of things that you're paying for, but you also don't have to store a race car at your house, which is tough for a lot of people. I mean, you can only fit so many in your apartment. So.
Or your other half gets very annoyed with you having your race car at the house and taking the garage all the time.
Why do I have to park outside? Because race car. So, yeah.
I love that Kurt and Shay both have race cars at the house.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Goals.
Mm-hmm. So many goals. Okay, so, I mean, what events do you guys have coming up in the near
events
future?
We have coming up October 23rd. We're going to be doing a co-event. We're going to be at Park Place.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So
right. Yeah.
I need to.
Alexa was telling me about that over the
was
weekend.
she?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad she remembered the date.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go plan
we didn't
that.
say that.
Okay. We're going to go plan that with her and, start there. And, to me, I don't feel like I'm under the gun. I don't need, so I feel like doing this right is more important than having a timeline, but I want to extend the opportunity through the end of the year,
Okay.
and so that's what the goalposts are, from now into 12/31.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible opportunity. I think it's going to be so cool. It's so cool. Yeah.
We're going to try and head out there in November, I think, or December, before the end of the year.
Right now is a really good time, and we'll pick a day that's maybe we'll get a clear day.
Okay.
But plan it around that, and then you'll see the mountains, and it's the site is beautiful.
I'll believe you that they're there if I can't see it. It's fine. Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah.
Take my word for it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
when you actually see the site, it's pretty awesome. It puts a different spin on things when you actually see it.
Like I said, it's making it into a destination, and more importantly, for the city, and it is important that it's not just the car destination. It's in everything.
Back to the port. Port understands economic development.
Yeah.
They have vacant industrial space that, they're going to fill. They'll fill that with, as you guys know, been to many facilities, they'll fill it with, advanced manufacturing or whatever. A number of different businesses will take up their vacant land. They understand that. And then the tourism. So they're all about regional benefit, community benefit.
Yeah.
And so the tourism, they're always talking about, how do we improve tourism to Kitsap County? And then they come up with, nothing against kayak trails, but they really don't move the needle on the economic development.
Right.
So they're always trying to figure out what can we do, and I think this will check the box for them.
And Bremerton, if you haven't been over there lately, has changed immensely. Like, I got off the ferry and I was like, most of these buildings weren't here the last time I was here. It's incredible, the downtown area, the way it's growing, and obviously everybody knows about the shipyards when you come in, but there's so much to do there, and it's in your from down, like, if you get off the ferry, how long does it take to get to the track?
It's probably about 15 minutes. It's 9 miles.
Maybe. Depending on the traffic getting off the ferry. Yeah. So it's,
It's close.
Yeah.
And we plan on doing a shuttle. If we have events, we'll do a shuttle system.
Yeah.
We're partners with the Sports Commission in Seattle. So
Okay.
they understand, flying in, doing light rail downtown, staying the night, and then ferry over to the peninsula, and then shuttle. So you're really never renting a car.
Yeah, you can walk onto the ferry, save all the traffic.
You can walk on, and so that's our plan with our transit agency over there. So that's events is going to be interesting. That's an additional layer, I think, from when I was here last time that we added. So we had to remaster plan for events. So you'll see grandstands, you'll see some terrace seating, the infield, multi-use.
Do you guys have deals with lodging out there as well?
Our lodging that's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
We
problem.
don't have to put that in there. That was just okay. Well, I didn't know if you had partners with downtown. Okay, but okay. But that new ferry. A side note: the new ferry dock's gonna be nice. Like when I took the ferry, it was nice. So yeah,
cool. All right, well, it's time for our next break. We come back, we'll talk more about what else we can do out there, Avance events, and a few other things coming up. We'll be right back.
Grandpa, what do you call this thing again? It's a 66 Ford Bronco.
I think you got ripped off.
Why is that, honey?
It's got no Wi-Fi, no USB port, no Bluetooth.
Exactly. I guess we'll just have to talk.
Sometimes the best way to connect is to disconnect.
Is that the window button?
It's called a window crank.
Cool. The faster I move it, the faster it goes down.
This moment of escape was created by Haggerty
Being old is kind of cool, Grandpa.
Works for me.
for people who love cars.
And we're back. How long is it?
The track.
Oh, the track. Yeah, that's what I meant.
track.
How
Yeah,
long is the track?
You almost had me stumped.
Oh, yeah, it's actually, well, I mean,
Do you want
it's stumped.
kilometers
Okay. No, yeah,
or
well, of course.
miles?
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
2.34, but it's about 2.4 with chicanes.
Okay.
So we have 2 chicanes. The front straight's 0.9, almost a mile long. So we got to have some chicanes in there to,
Not
slow
die.
you down.
If not, that first corner is going to be fun.
Yeah. We're also going to do some paved run outs.
Okay.
So turn 1 definitely is going to be a paved
There's
run
going to
out.
be a little extra
Right.
pavement. Just
A little
in case.
extra.
Yeah.
But we want to make it so if you have one of your beautiful cars here, Drivers Club, then you're not going to go into the salal and
Sure.
fir trees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm in the bay.
Yeah, we want you to be able to make
Yeah.
a mistake and still drive your car into the garage.
Tell me, so I know this is going to be a very deep question, but tell me a little bit about how you came up with the shape of the track. Was it did the land kind of dictate that? Because I know this land was kind of interesting. You and I have talked about the fact that it's been multi-use and the fact that nobody else could really use it for anything else. So
Yeah, the shape, that's an interesting one. And that was from Christian Epp from Tilka when he visited the site.
okay,
So we have a lot of dirt work that was done previously. It was a dump, right?
Okay.
So there was a big...
not just
there's
literally a pain in the ass. It was a dump.
No, it was a total dump.
Yeah.
It was like a literal dump.
Dump. Yeah.
So it was like a big flat area. And it's funny because I had sketched a track in with available land, and he took a look at it and said, "Oh, that's awesome." They're like, "Yeah, no." Very
That's
nicely.
pretty. Did your 2-year-old do this?
But he's German. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, kind of like, nice try. So let the professionals do this. But he said something interesting. He says, keep all of this earthwork. He goes, do you know how much money that would cost to level all that's already done? And he said, leave it, and we'll put the straightaway at the foot of that hill. And then you can terrace the bank. And
Okay.
then if you have events one day, you can put Grant. And he nailed it, like right when he looked at it. So I'm like, I'm in good hands here.
Yeah.
So that's exactly
Like he
what,
does
that's
this for a living or
exactly
something.
what
Yeah.
we did.
Right?
That's
Okay.
exactly what we did.
Nice.
And so the long straightaway is for a few reasons. Number one is for technology, so testing. They want a long straightaway for baseline testing. So we've had technology companies do that in the past at the current park.
Yeah.
And so they said the longer the better. And so if we put some chicanes in there, we wanted to get to top speed. And I think we will twice.
Ooh.
So with the chicane in the middle, but I know a lot of tracks, you don't get up to full song, before you're on the brakes again. We wanted to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of members like that.
Will be fun to watch or drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another question we had from the audience was different memberships we talked about a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, we're starting off with founders, right? So what I learned, I've been to several private road courses, talked to several general managers and owners, and what I took away from that was, when you have different levels of membership, they manipulate it by track day or number of days or access. And what I found is a lot of them, if you're a silver member, you can't do a track day with a gold member. And so they, in my opinion, they manipulate you into upgrading, which, hey, it's, capitalism, it's America, right?
Yeah.
But I figured, treating everybody the same in the founders round and just loading value into that offer, give them all the track days, get the redemption plan going, give them an amazing clubhouse with amenities that's professionally managed, treat everybody equally. And then if somebody wants to, make the opportunity, if they want to they want their diamond level, then they can buy an Autominium and trick it out, or buy 4 Autominiums and trick them out. And then there's their other level.
So, we know about the racetrack. We know about the concerts. What's one thing that you're going to have there that people may not expect in this type of park?
Ooh,
Just
good
one
question.
thing. I know a lot of the answers, but some of it I expected anyways. Yeah. It's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, we call it phase 2. Gun range is in the plans. Yeah.
All right.
If you like race cars, you might also like a gun range.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
They do go hand in hand often.
Yeah.
Really often.
Yeah.
If you like accelerating
Hand in
race
hand.
cars, you might want to accelerate some other lead.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair. That's
So-
going to be really cool. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a market for that. You
Yeah.
really don't even have to do a market study to figure out that would go over real well.
Yeah.
We deal with 14 police agencies right now for driver skills. And so in talking with that group, West Sound EVOC, they're like, we would totally use a gun range.
It'd be so nice if we could get out of our cars and just go practice.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Very
it
cool.
would fit our model with public and private.
Mm-hmm.
So public-private benefit, the port could get behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we might even get a little public help for that.
Yeah.
And Second Amendment.
Very cool.
Yeah,
2A rights.
Sure,
Excellent.
John Fowler will be right on board with that.
Yeah.
With the,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Security Gun Club, because McLaren has a sponsorship with the local gun club, because those things go really well hand in hand.
Yeah, right on.
We know people feel differently, but you should get to know the industry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's see here. What else do we have coming up, Nick?
What do we have coming up, Dan? I'm glad you asked. I was prepared for this. We have the Vaughn's Track Day at the Ridge on October 9th, which I believe will be this
The day after
Saturday.
this.
The day that comes out. October 10th is Wagon Fest at Dirtfish, which will be a lot of fun.
I'll walk there.
And finally, Brandon Bimpal. We have the Avance Off-Road on October 16th, which will be a lot of fun to get back out there, especially after we've had so much moisture coming down. The track will be totally different. I know they've been out there working on it, I think they've been driving viciously around there.
Yep.
So
How much bark can we put under our cars this time?
I don't know. I'm going to see how much bark I can put under my 450.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. So somebody's going to have to come pull me out of the mud.
Are you guys going to do off-road stuff there at all? Motocross track or anything like that? Is that in the plans?
We have moto. Yeah, we are so pumped about motocross.
Yes.
So we have phase 3 of our harvest plan is going to be tree by tree by tree by tree. So we're going to have Villapoto there, and he will lay out the track. And
Good hands.
with another guy that knows how to actually build them and drain them and get the right material involved. We want to be able to run like 10, 11 months. So we want a sandy mixture that drains.
Yep.
And so the track I operate now is clay. When it gets wet, it just turns to grease, and you can't even walk on it.
Yeah.
And so we don't have a sand track, up in this neck of the woods, and we need one. And so we want to put in a proper motocross track that's legit, that's wide, that has water lanes, and then we want to keep a canopy over it to hold the moisture in the soil. So I can't wait for the moto to get designed. And
I've been going to Washougal my whole life, and I always laugh at when it's raining out there. Like you can't see it on TV when you watch that stuff,
No.
but those ruts are like above waist high.
Yeah.
And you're riding through there. It's just like pick your rut and hope you just like tuck your feet in. But watch those guys get through.
The terrain is amazing there. And, it's on a hill.
Oh, that downhill.
But it's clay. It's so slick when their season's done probably now. So you can't even run on it in the winter. So we want to have it not only for racing and practice days, but to enhance the membership.
Yeah.
If a grandson wants to learn how to ride a motorcycle, we want to have that ability.
Very cool.
I want to learn how to ride one better off road. I'll tell you that right now.
There's a couple schools out there.
No, I know. I'm just go here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the goal.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad. I didn't realize we put Daniela so much on the spot. It's actually her first day. Literally.
No excuses. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm kind of winging it today, but I like hanging out with you guys. So
Okay.
it's good.
She had to say that.
Seasoned
I
veteran.
was going to say, did you pay her to say that? 'Cause
Exactly.
We know that's
she
not
wants
true.
a ride home. Don't leave me here. It's my first day on the job. So, yeah.
Well, welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's going to be a good time.
That's a better way to put it than I would have. Yeah. Welcome to Thunderdome. So, yeah. No, it's going to be so awesome. I cannot wait to see it come around more and be out there, like I said. And we definitely should. Dan and I, we'll figure out some time to come out, maybe make it a public event and have invite some of the Rain City Supercars people out and see the track and kind of get to know it,
I'm sure some of the exotic slugs would probably like to go check that out as well.
Yeah, they're not welcome. No, they know what they did. Especially Todd. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for being here so much. Thanks for coming out and give us an update. I can't wait to hear more. I told Brian that as soon as he gets major updates, to just shoot me a mail. We'll keep you guys updated as the track goes along. We we felt like this was a pretty important one. Is well, it's happening. I think there's
That's
a lot
right.
of people when I first heard this, they were like, "Oh, the track, Bremerton." Yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see
Yeah,
it.
who builds a track?
Right.
What crazy person does that?
Right?
Who throws a shoe?
Right.
Nice. Excellent. All right, for this episode of Rain City Supercars, I'm Nick.
I'm Dan, and don't just get there. Enjoy the drive.